Hi, my name is Kelly Watson. I'm a physician associate who works in cardiothoracic surgery in Ventura, California. And I'm very fortunate and honored to be able to interview our Kappa Community Service Award winner, Han Kim. And they're going to give a little introduction about themselves as well.
Thank you so much. Hello, my name is Han. My pronouns are they, them. I'm honored to be the recipient for the Community Service Award. I'm currently in my first year didactic for Keck Graduate Institute at Claremont, California. And it's been lovely so far. I'm really happy to be here.
Great. Well, when you learned that you were the recipient of the scholarship, tell us what your reaction was and who you shared this news with first.
Yeah, when I found out about the selection, I was really honored and just very grateful. Community engagement has always been really central to who I am and what I'm passionate for. So the recognition was really affirming. And yeah, I immediately texted my family and my partner. They supported me through everything, and so it was really nice to be able to share that with them. Even though there's distance, I don't really live that close to either of them, but it was really nice to be able to send that out to them, and all of us feel really excited.
Well, good. I'm glad that everyone was so proud of you and as they should be. What was there something when you were growing up or during college that inspired you to go into the PA profession?
Yeah, I discovered the PA profession during undergrad, and I was immediately really drawn to its flexibility and its model of collaboration and emphasis on lifelong learning because I'm someone that really thrives with growth, and I really love trying new things and um, even if that means like making a mistake and learning from it, that's something that I really appreciate about life. And so I was really captivated by the ability to evolve within the PA profession while maintaining like a work-life balance. And in 2020, so during COVID, I began shadowing one of my PA mentors, PA Ruben Esparza, and it was truly an honor to work closely with underserved families in the LA County and seeing how he really focused on the patient and incorporated his like cultural sensitivity, particularly with Latinx communities, like really solidified my interest in wanting to become a PA. And he showed me how medicine can be, both about being and providing clinical care, but also being very human. And um, at the same time, throughout my whole life, I've been exploring my own identity as a queer, neurodivergent, Korean American person. I've experienced a lot within the healthcare system in multiple lenses. And I feel like those experiences, whether they were more negative or more positive, I feel like it's helped motivate me to connect with individuals as authentically as possible and provide high quality, affirming care. And so it really just made sense to me. It felt like the PA profession was just like such a good fit for me. And I feel like it's really just like a way for me to make a meaningful impact while also getting to learn medicine, which has been really, really um, a beautiful thing. And I really appreciate that.
I think that's one of the gems of our profession is it really provides an opportunity to go that extra step with our patients. We have that ability to make those connections and to really um, provide comfort to communicate with patients that may not always get that specific time. And that's really the beauty of our profession is that we really are able to make a really lasting impression with our patient population. Um, why do you think community service is such an important part of development as a student, and how can you translate that as you move forward into your PA profession after graduation?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think community service is something that I feel like is just hand in hand with the PA profession, particularly because I wouldn't be where I am today without the communities that helped support me. I went to UC Irvine and I joined a student-run free clinic, and that really helped expand my understanding of healthcare access and meeting different people within like my earlier stages of education and seeing what that really looks like. As well as that, I feel like the organization I volunteered a lot with is Vita Mobile Clinic, and they provide services in LA County. But I feel like that was really a special moment for me because I hadn't really met that many PAs. And in that space, I met so many different passionate PAs that modeled servant leadership, and that really inspired me to keep in touch with communities because I think, working in healthcare is such a um, emotionally, mentally taxing field, and for good reason. We're helping people when they're feeling sick and they're feeling maybe at their worst, and that takes a lot. And I feel like seeing how other PAs give back to the community, how that really just ends up filling their own cup, really mirrored like how I feel when I am able to do the same. In addition, I feel like being involved in different queer community spaces has provided me mentorship, safety, and belonging. And that's something that I really want to do as a future PA because, if I was not supported, mentored, believed in the past, I feel like I wouldn't be here today. And I feel like serving and getting to know different communities isn't just something that I want to do as an extracurricular. I feel like it's foundational within how I understand healthcare. And as a future PA, I really want to do the same thing and mentor students, serve communities that are historically marginalized, and really contribute to the profession to really expand healthcare access and equity. So it really just ties in, like it all ties together for me. And so it's another reason why I just love the PA profession and feel like it really was like a match made in heaven.
Thank you for that. I like how you touched on mentorship. I think it's a very unique time for you when you were in school, where you probably had several mentors. You alluded to one that when you were volunteering, but you're sort of at that point where you will be mentored as a new graduate, but you will then become the mentor to people that are interested in joining our profession or may not know a lot about the PA profession. And you get to flip the script and be the mentor to all of these younger students in the next generation, to really show them what we're capable of. And I really appreciate that your future plans do have future community service as part of that, because I do think it's a great way for us to extend care, but then also again to showcase what we can do in our profession and the gaps that we're able to fill, particularly like you said, for marginalized groups. What do you think uh, for sorry, let me rephrase that. What do you think is the most important thing about being a member of Kappa? Um, and yeah, I guess that's that would be the question. What's the most important part about being a member, um, and how that is able to help you within your development as a PA?
Yeah, I think being a member of Kappa is really essential because it strengthens the collective voice of the PA profession at a systemic level. The PA profession itself is ever changing, ever growing, and it's so is healthcare policy, right? And with things like scope of practice, patient access, there's so many things in our world that's constantly evolving, and I think it's really important as a or as a profession to really unite to ensure that we can gather and have these conversations to discuss, how can we best advocate not only for the providers, but ultimately the patients, right? Because there's a lot of barriers within the healthcare system, period, but there's also a lot of barriers as a PA provider of what we can do to serve communities and serve patients. And it's really important for, I feel like, especially students and other PAs currently to join because engagement in a professional way is part of our responsibility, I feel like, and it helps build our own community as well. And it's really important for um, every field to have their own like leadership, but I think it's very empowering to have a collective body to actively shape the future of our profession to ultimately help advance health equity. So I really encourage it. I really appreciate that. At my school or my program, they it's part of our um, like requirements to join Kappa and AAPA as well. And I really appreciate that because advocacy is paramount to healthcare. So I think it's good to start early and to really maintain involvement.
I completely agree. I think being involved at the state and national level are both very important, particularly when uh, it helps you to transition from a student into professional practice, where you can really learn um, what is necessary to take those next states or take those next steps. And then additionally, yes, for advocacy, to know what your scope of practice is, because it does vary between state to state. And it is, I think, very important to be knowledgeable and up to date with what is truly happening within your day-to-day practice, within where you live, regionally and in the state. And again, nationally, because a lot of things change and it's very good to be able to see how other states practice and nuances that um, do vary for sure. And even just regions, how patients are treated in an urban area versus a more rural area. I think it's really good for us to maintain that connection with PAs throughout the state because we all do have a slightly different practice environment. I know you're still in the middle of school, and how many more months left? And what do you see yourself doing once you graduate? What area of practice do you see yourself going into?
Yeah, well, I'm just past 3 months into my program, so about 24 months left to go. I really have a heart in providing care to as many people as possible. So I feel like right now, I think I'm really interested in family practice. Um, just to be able to provide comprehensive, affirming care. Within that, I have a background in LGBTQ plus health, and I really want to continue that work. And um, we will see how that turns out. But I am also my cohort's DEI representative, and I actually represent my cohorts class for Kappa as well. So I feel like I'm trying my best to stay engaged and, not lose touch with the things I'm passionate about because PA school has been very grueling in terms of, learning medicine. It's like learning how to ride a bike that you've never rode before. And so I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it more now. And it's been a privilege to learn medicine truly. And um, every day I'm constantly reminded that, what we're doing in the classrooms now is going to help so many people in the future. And I just really want to continue, like I mentioned, like returning back to previous volunteer organizations as a future provider to provide services and also to be a mentor for students that are interested in the PA profession, to support the next generation of healthcare professionals. But ultimately, I really hope to stay engaged and enter legislative spaces because we really need a lot of that within healthcare as well. And I really want to help reduce disparities by trying my best to advocate in spaces when I can. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited to continue on in this journey and um, be able to represent myself in the ways that I always wanted to see when I was younger. But yeah, I really hope that I can continue to provide like high quality, passionate care and make sure that every person feels safe and valued and seen. So it's my ultimate goal.
I think those are very admirable goals, and you're certainly well on your way um, to doing that for your career. I think you should be very proud of what you've already accomplished. You are definitely a worthy recipient of this award, and I know that you're going to continue to do great things within your career. And this is very much you're in the thick of it for probably the hardest part of your career, or within the sort of didactic part of medicine, learning that the sort of the foundation of what you're going to build your practice on. Um, Somebody gave me advice when I was sort of in that part of training is, you're going to be given all of this information, and you just have to remember you don't need to learn it all perfectly now. You need to be able to take what you can to build that foundation, the building blocks, so then you can continue to develop your practice as you continue on. And then once you start to learn how to clinically correlate with those foundations, your learning and your knowledge will only continue to improve exponentially from that point. So there is a light at the tunnel. It will get brighter very quickly. It's slow during the days, but the years go by very quickly. So you're going to do great, and you'll blink and you'll already be graduating, looking for your first job. So
Thank
um,
you.
you're welcome. I don't have any other questions for you. I really appreciate the time that you took today to meet with us, and congratulations again on being the community service recipient for Kappa, because you truly deserve it, and I know you're going to do great things with your career.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all for spending this time as well, and I appreciate the wise words and affirmation. Um, Thank you so much.